Hey John, it's Dexter. So I wanted to make you a second video because you and I had corresponded a little bit on the use of the spear and spear playing. It's something I've been experimenting pretty heavily with for almost 4 years now. And I just wanted to share what I found with you. And talked about different styles and different systems. The one I recommend, and you know me, I'm usually not very big into Chinese martial arts. This is probably the sole exception, and is a spear system that is the subset of Bajiquan. And that was popularized by a Chinese martial artist by the name of Li Xuan. He was commonly referred to as God Spear Li, famous for winning over 70 duels, and he fought even into his 60s and 70s. And I know a lot of these things are hyperbole. They're a bit exaggerated and embellished. However, Li might actually be the one exception. And the reason is all of his three main students went on to become bodyguards for Henry Puyi, Chiang Kai-shek, and Mao Zedong. So his three main students went on to be the main bodyguards for the three biggest political figures in the next 20 years inside of China. And Li was known to have fought, like I said, into his 60s and 70s, and this unfortunately ultimately led to his death when he was challenged, and unfortunately he did kill, if I'm not mistaken, most of the people in the duels, because there was spears. Get hit by a spear, it kind of sucks. And it was said he never needed to hit the same opponent twice. And he ended up fighting the son of a very wealthy family, and this, apparently he was very well skilled. This individual had won several duels. He was in his 20s. He fought Li. I think Li was 71 or 72 at the time. Li killed him pretty much instantly, and the family paid an assassin to poison Li's tea, ultimately leading to his death. So, history lesson over. Let's go over what Li Xuan did. And he did, I hesitate to call it a form. It's really a combination. It's only 3 moves. And he called it Ghost Shakes the Body. I don't know why, but he did. And the basics of this particular system, you need a spear about your height. I do recommend getting just a cheap, lightweight shaft and one of these cold steel trainers. I mean, the whole thing will set you back with shipping $20. And it's a fantastic thing. Eventually, now this is going to be really hard to find, and if you're watching this, and if you're serious about this, I would purchase this ASAP. Doesn't matter where you can find it, get it cheap and get it quickly. And that is the cold steel bore spear. Cut it down to your size. And the reason being is cold steel is discontinuing because they're under new ownership now, as you probably saw from GSM Outdoors in Texas. They've completely discontinued all their spears already. So if you can get this from wherever you can, cut it down to your size, and you're going to do the exercises with this as well, and I'm going to demonstrate Ghost Shakes the Body with both. So the form, and I should also preface this, the stance is very, very basic. You're in a fairly athletic split stance, rear hand towards the back of the shaft, lead hand is in front. Now the lead hand, for the most part, about 90% of the time, it is almost completely stationary. It's only going to move about this much. Doesn't move a whole lot. It's the rear hand that does all of the major manipulations. We are going to use something called Jing energy. It's very, very whippy. Think of fast twitch muscle fiber contractions. So you're going to really use those fast contractions to really jerk an opponent's weapon once it is engaged with your spear. So the basic form with the upper body is you're going to have the spear facing the opponent. You're going to bring it down here. The palm is up. So this is a very rapid and hard contraction. Then you reverse the movement here, then the thrust. That's the whole movement, the whole series. And there's a little bit more to obviously Bajiquan than Ghost Shakes the Body. And there's a little bit more to the system, but according to Li himself, this is all he ever did in a fight. Whenever somebody came to him and was very serious about this, he would have them do this thousands and thousands of times. Even masters of other systems, and they all said, he would ask him in the end, like, do you think you actually need more? And Apparently, even the masters of the other system said, no, I know everything I need to know about the spear now. So, just to reiterate, you're here, 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 here. That's pretty much the whole system. Now, the footwork is pretty simple, and I recommend mixing this up. You're going to essentially just do cross steps. That's it. And both forward and back. So if I was to go forward, here, 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 here. You can go forward and back in the same set, doesn't make a difference. But having sparred dozens and dozens and dozens of opponents, just using this set, I can tell you it's fantastic. The big thing to take away is whenever you're engaged, doesn't matter if it's another spear, a staff, a sword, doesn't make a difference. When you are engaged, meaning their weapon is touching the spear, that Jing energy is everything for opening up a line for that thrust. And sometimes, honestly, even if you just throw it down here, coming up and slapping with the edge of the spear is enough. To also give another pointer here, you're really using your major muscle groups. And I really want you to practice winding and getting to this position powerfully. Because if you can engage an opponent's blade in this position and yank it aside, doesn't matter if it's out here or in tight, where this is essentially almost like in a boxer's guard by your jaw, it will help you massively. Also, always, 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 no matter what, try to have the spear pointed to them in some form or fashion. So even in this position, I'm pointing usually at their lower body. You can thrust from here. I have done that. But always have it pointing towards them. Keep this circle very tight. You'll notice it's not a big motion. I'm not moving this arm. It's all here, here, here. That's it. Just use the major muscle groups. So when you're pulling here, don't forget to contract those back muscles. Again here, back muscles. Really crank it and use the true times with the thrust. The hand comes out all the way, then eventually the shoulders. And if you need to start stepping with it, you can. I don't recommend it with a spear. It's not like a sword. There's a lot more weight at the end. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can really convey to you that is going to summarize anything else or give you a better idea of what this system can do. Honestly, it's very short, it's very sweet, it's very simple. I do recommend practicing with the heavier spear just to get it down. You can switch hands. I recommend that as well. Here, here, here. Just be very simple with it. Be very methodical with your practice, very deliberate with it. And again, I've used, I want to say 6 different spear systems, things I've experimented with this. This, which is a subset of Bajiquan. I've done some Tai Chi spear, experimented a little bit with Japanese Yari and Naginata. 2 different Filipino systems, Pikiti Terja and Anasano style Kali. Use their spear systems. 2 HEMA systems, Paul's Hector Mare, and a little bit of the Italian Partisan. And I can honestly say out of all these different systems, the one that has worked for me the best and has given me by far the most results in a very short time period is this one. So I hope this helps. Oh, one last thing. If you're to study this, I would recommend this book. It is a short section on Ghost Shakes the Body. He also goes over some other things, and there's some forms in there. Honestly, I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off, but the forms, in my opinion, are a waste of time. I don't think they'll make you better unless you just want to get good at the forms. If so, more power to you, but to say it's going to make you a better fighter, those movements in there that you're never going to use, I'm going to respectfully disagree. But Ghost Shakes the Body, there's a few different engagements he does with the spear versus spear and spear versus saber and stuff like that that have some value, but honestly, the price of the book alone, just for that a few pages of Ghost Shakes the Body is worth it. But that's it, my man. If you have any questions, just let me know. Take care.